Hello again to YouTube viewers, and welcome to my channel, Sebastian's Movie Game Time. I'm your host, Sebastian. Well, it's November, and I'm going to talk about the PS2 video games that I enjoyed of playing, and I still also have own a PlayStation 2 machine. So, let's get right to it. What is a PlayStation 2? Well, PlayStation 2 is this is the control. This is control for PlayStation 2 that you need to play whenever you're going to play a PlayStation 2 machine or any PS2 games. You get to have this play this controller. Um, and also these are memory cards that you put inside your PlayStation 2 machine that you have. And whenever you play a game, say if you're on level 1 or level 5 of that PS2 game, and you have to leave in a hurry, you're like, oh, I have to be somewhere. Is there anywhere can I save these games? I would hate to go back. I would hate to go back all the way to the beginning of the level that I just finished, and I have to go back to it. But so if you want to save the current level that you're on when you're playing that PS2 game, you will go. It will be in front of the screen of the PS2 game, and you go towards it, and you see something that spins around like in a circle would do, and you go towards it, and it says, do you want to save the progress of this current level of this game? And you want to save it? You click on yes. And with these memory cards, these will help you save the current level of the game that you're left off on, and you're gonna play again later on when you get back from coming from somewhere. You turn the machine on. You click on the menu of that PS2 game. You go to load game. Load game is where you load up the level of the game, the level that you were on the earlier that you played on. So I mean, yeah, it was great. But I still have a PlayStation 2 machine. And it's like, well, I used to like a PlayStation. I like it. I like PS3. Yeah, because you can put Blu-ray movies and games on PS3 and Blu-rays too. But I don't know. I mean, after a while, I kind of got rid of my PS3 machine. Oh, I don't know what happened to it. Maybe I got rid of it, or I don't know. But I don't know. There's something about PlayStation 2. There's something about PlayStation 2 that I miss about and I like about it, because I've been playing it since I was a teenager and my younger growing up time. So I mean, PlayStation 2 has always been there for me from the very beginning. Well, when I was a younger, when I became a teenager, I enjoyed playing it. It's great games, and the graphic images of that PS2 game. It's fun. So the PS2 machine and the PS2 games, they're just my favorite thing. I mean, PS3 was okay, but I'm more of a PlayStation 2 guy, like I said. So I'm very happy, and also I have a PlayStation 2 machine, but I have a backup one. So in case something bad happens to this current PS2 machine that I have, I can always have a backup one and play the backup one. So yeah, so. But again, that's just me. I love PlayStation 2. I always have been fan of the games, and they're just a great memory of my childhood. It really is. Okay, well, like I said on my last video that I mentioned, it's November. I'm going to talk about video games, including PlayStation 2 video games. And today I'm going to talk about two video games for the PlayStation 2 that I love now. I give both of these PlayStation 2 games, both of them 3 out of 3 stars, because I like the graphics quality, I like the images, I like the 3D characters that are in both games. So one game I'm going to start off with. This game for PlayStation 2 is based upon this game that you see in the arcades. Like indoor shopping malls that you go to, you see games inside the arcade, right? There's this game inside the arcade called Arctic Thunder. Arctic Thunder if once you see the game Arctic Thunder, you see shape of a snowmobile, and there's a screen in front of it, and on both sides of this video game in arcades, there's like it's called Arctic Thunder, and Arctic Thunder was a fun game. It's really fun because you get on the snowmobile and you're playing the racer character on inside the screen, on the screen, and you use all the different weapons inside the game. You could use like super attack. Super attack is the power up. Well, in Arctic Thunder, the weapons or anything they call it is power ups. Power ups is like there's a green one that makes you go fast. It's like super fast. It's the green one. So if you see a green power up, you go for the green power up. It takes you really fast. It makes your snowmobile go faster. And there's a yellow power up called grip and hook. Like a grappling hook that you can grappling hook someone, another snowmobile person is on it, and you yank them off of it, and you take over as the lead. Ah, but the best power up in Arctic Thunder, that's my favorite, is called Super Attack. Now, what does that mean, Super Attack? Super Attack is this purple kind of spinning power up named like all the other power ups. Well, Super Attack, if you click on Super Attack, it will knock everybody off the snowmobiles like a big cloud, like an atomic bomb, and and all the characters on every snowmobiles, they will come off. The snowmobile will explode as well. The characters falling off of it. It's really one of my favorite power ups is Super Attack because ooh man, it's big. Anyways, and you can choose out different characters on Arctic Thunder. There's a bunch of characters, like you could play Agent 47. There's a character that's kind of like Agent 47. I think that's what they call him. There's and we have there's a lady or woman, I should say. Her name is Candy. Now I know we're gonna say what? There's a woman character in a video game called Candy. Yeah, but maybe why they call her Candy? Maybe because her character in the game likes eating candy, so maybe that's why they call her Candy. Anyways, I always pick her sometimes because she's badass as well. You have like an ape or like a or like a gorilla or something called. His name is Pongo. It's kind of like an ape or was big on arms. His name is Pongo. I remember that, and I don't remember all the other characters' names, but I know that Agent 47, a guy dressed up as Agent. There's a pretty woman named Candy, and there's a ape kind of look-alike called Pongo. The name is Pongo. All the characters are so great on the game. Now, which character do I always pick when I play Arctic Thunder? I always pick the main guy, which is Agent 47. He's basically this guy character who's basically an agent, undercover agent, I should say. I always pick him because I just thought cool. But sometimes I'll pick the Pongo, the ape, the half ape, or whatever they call him. I always pick him because he's cool. And the girl and the woman, Candy, I know, it's like, what? How could you pick a character? How could you pick a lady character in the video game Arctic Thunder? It's like, well, I mean, she's badass and she rocks. So yeah, so Arctic Thunder. There's a video game for PlayStation 2 called Arctic Thunder, and the game is actually based upon that you see at the video game arcades and shopping malls. Um, I used to play a lot for PlayStation 2 Arctic Thunder. I don't know what happened to mine. It got lost somewhere, but I remember I love playing that PlayStation 2 Arctic Thunder version game. It's fun. If you never played or seen Arctic Thunder, the video game, I think you go on YouTube and you'll see like somebody on YouTube, like a walkthrough or play walkthrough of that game, and you were like, oh, so this is Arctic Thunder. This is I'm describing it, what it is. So I highly recommend you seek out this game. If all of you still have PlayStation 2s out there, I recommend you seek out Arctic Thunder. It's really fun. Or go on YouTube, type in Arctic Thunder, and you'll see somebody playing the walkthrough of the entire game. It's really good game. I really enjoy it. Again, I give it 3 out of 3 stars. And there's another PlayStation 2 game I really like. It's called Double Seven. That's right. I guess all of you forgot that there were James Bond, but there are video games of James Bonds. And one of the James Bond games for PlayStation 2 that I used to play is called Double Seven Nightfire. Nightfire, well, every now and when you're playing the James Bond character in the Night of Fire Bond game, you were playing the James Bond character, and the lookalike face is Pierce Brosnan. Now, Pierce Brosnan, I think they got someone else to do the voice of the James Bond character that you play on the video game. It's not Pierce Brosnan's voice that you hear playing the 007 game. It's someone else's voice. But the figure look-alike person looks like Pierce Brosnan. Like they make it, you can tell the way Pierce Brosnan's face when he played Bond, the way he looked. So, but yeah, I mean, Night of Fire, it's a 007 Night of Fire. It's a great game. It really is. I really enjoy it. I give it 3 out of 3 stars again. It's great. You can play on James Bond, and I don't know how many levels, like 12, 13 levels of Night of Fire. And sometimes they're difficult, hard, and you're trying to, oh, how am I supposed to pass all these levels? They're so hard to do. But have faith and believe in yourselves. You could pass every level of this game if you can. I did. It was hard for me. I was like, oh, I need to pass on more levels, more levels. But so and actually, check this out, guys. I passed the game. I don't like how many years later I played 007 Night Fire for the PlayStation 2 game, and guess what? I passed the entire game. I done all the levels. I passed the game, and I'll tell you, it wasn't easy passing the whole game levels. It was hard, because I always keep getting shot at when you go on missions, and you had to start over again of the levels. Like, oh, let me tell you, when I passed the entire 007 Night Fire game, when I passed the entire levels and passed the game, I just thought, oh, thank God it's over, because it was so hard and it was so tough and challenging and hard. But hey, I made it through. I passed, and I was like, oh, thank God, Night Fire's over. But yeah, so those are 2 PlayStation 2 video games I really like. Are Arctic Thunder, that's based upon an actual game from the arcade, and 007 Night Fire. That's another good game for PlayStation 2. I really like those two. Well, I believe I believe that's it, everybody. Or everyone. Thank you for watching my channel of me talking about 2 PlayStation 2 video games that are my favorites, which is 007 Night of Fire and Arctic Thunder. And as a bonus, I'm such in a good mood. So you know what I want to talk about? I'm going to talk about free movies. That's right, free movies that I really like from 2010. And I give all three each of these free movies, all three of these each of these free movies. I give all 3 of them 3 out of 3 stars. So here's one of the movies. This one's called Armored. It's a crime action movie from 2010. It stars Matt Dillon, Skeet Ulrich, Lawrence Fishburne, Columbus Short, Jean Reno from Leon the Professional. So what can I say about Armored? Well, Armored is one of those movies that's completely like underrated, I should say. I really like Armored. I like the cast. I mean, Matt Dillon's the lead. Lawrence Fishburne's great in it too. Columbus Short, who was great. Jean Reno, everybody knows from Leon the Professional and other movies. Armored is pretty good. I like it's a heist action movie. It's more of a heist crime movie than action. There are some action scenes in the movie, but it's more like a crime heist movie. And it all takes place all in this one. Well, all the main characters in this movie, they heist the money from an armored truck. Well, all the main characters in this movie, they all drive armored trucks. And, they're taking money from banks and transport it in these armored trucks that they're driving. But, and the main leader, that's played by Matt Dillon's character, he convinced the other armor guard people that, you know what, let's just take the money for ourselves. We'll take the money from the banks and we'll go somewhere and we'll hide the money, and we'll come back and retrieve it. so we can take our share of the cut of the money. But then suddenly, and like every crime heist movie, everything seems really good. Like, okay, the plan was simple, but unfortunately, things always takes a wrong turn, and something happens, and I cannot say because I don't give away the entire plot of the movie. But it's a really good little movie called Armored. I highly recommend it. Matt Dillon was good, like I said, and the cast is great. Um, okay, so we move on to our second movie, which is The Tourist. Now, The Tourist. This is really my movie. I give it 3 out of 3 stars. It's The Tourist. I like this movie. Everything about this movie, it's terrific. Terrific. It really is. It stars Johnny Depp, of Jack Sparrow and many other good movies that he did. Angelina Jolie, who's badass in every movies as well. And this movie also co-stars Paul Bettany, Jarvis from the Marvel movies. It stars Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton, who played Bond, obviously, in 2 Bond movies. He's in it, and there's a character actor too named Rufus Sewell, who did a movie from the late night, or actually, he did a movie called during the late '90s called Dark City. He's in this one as well too. So I was like, oh, and I like Dark City, but we'll talk more about Dark City when we get to the year when the movie came out. So yeah, so what can I say about The Tourist? The Tourist is really a fun movie. It's a fun romantic caper of a movie. It's beautiful shot all around Venice, Italy. It's people walking. It's like a perfect popular tourist attraction spot. It's beautiful boats on the waters. I don't know what they call them, but it's really nice. It's beautiful shot, and I it's a really smart, suspenseful kind of caper of a movie. If you haven't seen the Tourist movie, I highly recommend you check it out. I'm thinking you'll find it entertaining, like I found it entertaining. It's a really great movie, really is. And finally, we come to the last movie of this channel episode. This one is called The Debt. Now, The Debt, it stars Helen Mirren, Jessica Chastain, Tom Wilkinson, Sam Worthington of James Cameron's Avatar. This movie, The Dead, it it jumps from the modern times that we're in, and it takes us back to a flashback that back in the '60s, and the flashback scene of this movie, there are like 3 secret agents. Their task is to abduct and kidnap a former doctor, Nazi German doctor or something, and they had completed a mission. They captured him, but then something goes wrong, and we cut to the movie years later. Helen Mirren, who's much who plays who played one of the agents in the flashbacks. She's like, oh, so I mean, her job is to find the guy that they captured when she was part of the secret mission. Um, so it's really a good movie, The Dead. I can't say nothing much more about the movie, but Jessica Chastain uh, was great in the film. Sam Worthington, well, because he's Jake Sullivan in Avatar. I mean, Tom Wilkinson, a good British actor. Yes, and Helen Mirren, who's great, Dame Helen Mirren, I should say. She's great in everything. That's all I can say about the Dead movie. I give The Dead 3 out of 3 stars. I like the pacing. I like the story and the intriguing spy. Now, maybe some of you don't like spy movies. That's fine. But I thought this is a good spy movie. I thought the story was very intriguing and really well made movie. It's really good. Really good. All right, buddy. That will conclude my channel episode for today. Don't forget. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. So thank you again, and I'll see you at the movies.